reminder, if anything doesn't feel good on your body, just make the adjustments for yourself so that it works for you. Don't force yourself with your knees or your lower back or neck and shoulders into anything that doesn't work for you. Okay. Great. So I'm going to mute the background noise and I'll chat to you guys in an hour. And I want you to come into a seated position. So you can sit however feels best for you. So you can have your legs out straight, or you can sit cross-legged. Give yourself a little pillow underneath your hips if you need, and it doesn't matter which leg is in front. Just take a moment here to wiggle your spine from side to side, maybe do a little bit of a twist, maybe lean from side to side. Just feel out your spine. Maybe pull the flesh of your bum out the back if you need to. Get your ankles nice and comfortable. And then just let your hands rest on your knees or on the ground, however feels best for you. Roll your shoulders back and around a few times. And then just allow your eyes to close. Start slowing down each breath. You can breathe in and out through the nose, or perhaps in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just taking a few moments before we start our stretch-based class, just to slow down, center yourself, find a bit of stillness into your body and some stillness into your mind and into your thoughts. And if you notice that your mind is starting to wander or become distracted, just start counting each inhale and each exhale. So perhaps you breathe in and count 1, and breathe out and count 2. Breathe in and count 3. Breathe out for the count of 4. Count all the way up to 10, and then you can restart at 1. And this connection into breath is one of the easiest ways just to allow yourself to slow down and become present for a few moments. And if you are counting, just allow yourself to finish this current set, going all the way to 10. And then just allow yourself to settle into the shape of your body at the moment. And before we start moving into our physical practice and feeling the connections into our bodies, perhaps just take a moment to set an intention or a dedication for your day today. And taking one more deep breath in through your nose, feel your spine lengthen. Open your mouth and breathe out. Blink your eyes open gently. And then you're going to be taking your fingers, 3 fingers, and you're going to place them just behind you on either side of your spine, just at the top of your shoulders, at the base of your neck. And start doing a little bit of a shake of your head. No, 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 no. And then as you keep shaking your head, no, 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 start squeezing your fingers towards each other. So in other words, you're doing a little bit of a compression of the spine from either side, and start sliding your fingers up towards your skull, up towards the occipital bone, shaking your head, no, 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 no. And then release, move your fingers down again to the base of your neck, and again, no, 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 no. It's a tiny little shaking movement. And as you squeeze your fingers towards each other on either side of the spine, you might find you've got one area that you almost feel the vertebra out of alignment. And release. Now keep going. Shake your head. No, no, no. Your fingers are at the back of your neck. I'm going to move my hands here so you can see. We're literally going squeeze, and we're going no, 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 no. And we're sliding the fingers up towards the occipital bone. We're just going to do a few more of those. And this is a little realignment technique called the Dorn method, D-O-R-N. And it's a way of almost doing a self-realignment. We're going to do just one more time. And if you notice a particular area on your cervical spine, on your neck, that you can feel it's out of alignment, maybe you just want to stay there for a second, shake your head, no, 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 no. It's a tiny movement with the head, and then allow it to release. Give your hands a little bit of a shake, and then help yourself to bring your knees up together. And I'm going to now sit lengthways on the mat. You can have your little pillow ready for your head at the back if you want. Knees bent. Separate the knees and the feet slightly. Your hands are going to be on your knees for some support. Take a breath in to lengthen your spine. Lift nice and tall. And then as you breathe out, curl your tail under and start rolling yourself backwards. Now you can take it back until the arms are straight, or you can keep the elbows bent if you feel that it's too much of a stretch. Keep holding onto your knees, rounding your spine back, and just hang there for a moment so you feel a little bit of a release between the 2 shoulder blades. Take a breath in, and then bend your elbows and help yourself come all the way back up into a seated position and lift up nice and tall. Take another breath. Exhale, curl the tail under. And feel how your belly pulls away from your thighs as you roll back. Decide if you're happy to hang back off your legs. Take a little breath. And then exhale, bend your elbows and pull yourself forward. Lift up nice and tall. Now this time, move your hands behind your thighs. Hold on to the back of your legs. And exhale, curl back, roll all the way back so that you're lying on the ground, and bringing your hands down beside you. Bring your feet a little closer in towards your pelvis. Now this is where you need to have your strap next to you for a little bit of support. And if you want a pillow underneath your head, you can put a pillow underneath your head. Take your strap or your belt and pick up your right foot and loop it over the arch of the foot. So you've got both knees bent. Your right knee is going to be bent in towards your chest, and your left knee is bent with your foot on the ground. And then as you breathe out, straighten your right leg up towards the sky. And then bend your knee and allow it to release again. And again, breathe out and extend your leg. And inhale, let it release. And we're just going to do a few more. Exhale and extend. Head and shoulders are nice and supported. And release. Let's do one more time. Exhale, extend, and now let's just stay here for a moment. So Your top leg is as straight as possible so that you feel a hamstring stretch. And your left knee is bent with that left foot grounded. We're going to go into a little bit of an inner thigh release here. So make sure that you've got a firm grip onto the strap. Start opening your right leg out to the right side and open your left knee to the left to counterbalance. And you might notice that you've got to slide the strap on the arch of your right foot so that you stay nice and stable. And if you lift your head and look at your pelvis for a moment, if you had a cappuccino balanced on your lower abs, it should still be balanced. You have not rolled your pelvis off to the side. So you should be feeling a bit of a stretch into the right inner thigh here. The left leg is counterbalancing. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bringing both legs all the way up, and then bend your right knee, let your right knee go out to the side, and then just fold your right ankle over the left knee. You can take the strap off and put it to the side for a moment. Place your hands just on your pelvis, and on your breath out, pick up your left foot, and as you bring your legs closer towards your chest, can you feel a stretch into the right gluteal? And then put your left foot back to the floor again. And breathe out. You're going to pick up the left leg, and because your right ankle is crossed over the left knee, you're going to feel a stretch into the hip. Keep lowering and lifting the leg at your own pace. And for some people, if your lower back is taking strain, you might feel like you need to tilt your pelvis a little bit just to really protect the lower back and get a stretch into that bum instead. One more time. Lift the leg up. Now hold it here. Loop your hands behind the left thigh, and let's just stay here for a moment in a gluteal stretch. And then start to do a little bit of a rocking from side to side with the pelvis. And keep breathing into it. And notice on your own body if the stretch increases when you roll to one side in particular. Just gives you a little bit of information about where you are tight in that hip. And then say to yourself, you're just going to lower your left foot to the ground again. Stay there. And now hook your hands behind the right thigh and hug that right leg in towards the chest. So now your ankle is uncrossed. Do a little circle with that the right ankle. One direction, it doesn't matter which way because we're about to reverse it. And then change and go the other way, circling the ankle. And then keep holding your right leg to your chest and slide the left leg all the way out along the floor. Now you're going to flex both your ankles, and this time breathe out and extend that right leg up. This time you're holding on behind your knee with your hands, and inhale, release. And again, exhale and extend and release. So we're not using the strap this time. We're not using the support around the ankle. You're using your hands to hold on. We're going to do one more time. And release. Now, slide the right leg out along the floor. Place your hands onto the shelves of your hip, one on the right and one on the left. Your legs are slightly apart with the ankles flexed. And now, start pushing the right foot forward and hitch the left hip up. And then switch. Push the left heel forward and hitch the right hip. Now keep alternating. And you're trying to keep the legs as straight as possible. So the movement is coming from the lumbar spine. And bring your awareness up to the muscles around your torso, the obliques and the lower back muscles. If you are taking any strain around those muscles, then please make it a little bit smaller for yourself. Or again, you might want to think of tucking the pubic bone towards your nose a little bit to protect your back. Keep walking gently on the spot. And then center yourself and hold it. Now bend the right knee and put the right foot flat to the ground. Bend the left knee up and now take that strap or belt and loop it over your left foot, over the arch of the foot. And then get a nice firm grip. Head and shoulders are down, both knees are bent. And as you breathe out, straighten the left leg up towards the sky. And then bend your knee in again. And again, keep breathing. And release. And just keep stretching up as straight as your flexibility allows you to go. But you know, this is the nice thing with having that loop around your foot is you can actually move your leg away from you a little bit if you need. Or you can bring your leg really close if you're one of those really flexible people. One more time. Stretch up. Now hold it here. Stay here for a moment, just breathing into it. And we're going to focus on keeping our pelvis and our shoulders as stable as possible. We're going to go into our inner thigh stretch. So open your left leg out to the left and counterbalance by opening the right knee out to the side. And then lift your head if you can and lift your pelvis. Make sure that your pelvis is as level as possible, so you could perhaps balance a cappuccino there. Think about pulling your big toe up towards your ear. Keep the abdominals working, especially on the right side, so that you don't roll over towards the left. Take one more breath in and out. And then exhale, bringing both legs all the way up. And then bend the left knee, pull the foot down so that you're crossing your left ankle over the right knee, and then you can take the strap off to the side. Hands on your pelvis, breathing out as you lift up that right leg and pull yourself into a little bit of a gluteal stretch, and then lower that foot down again. Keep going at your own pace. Find your range. And you might be a little bit tighter on this side than the first side, so that's all good. Just don't force it. Make sure that your lower back feels secure. Get that core connection, right? And let's take one more time. Lifting the leg up, now hold it there. Take your hands around your right thigh, holding on, and then just settle back into the stretch. And again, if you are tight here, you might notice that your head and shoulders are getting pulled off the ground. So if you don't already have a cushion underneath your head, you might want to put one there now. Few more moments, and remember you can do that little rocking from side to side with your pelvis. And this is quite a nice way as well to get that fascial release around the hip. Taking just a few more moments and come to center. You're going to lower that right foot down. Now move your hands to hold on behind the left leg and then bring that left knee to your chest. Just relax there for a moment and circle your ankle and your foot. And then reverse, change and go the other way. And then slide the right leg out along the floor. So this is going to pull your pelvis a little bit more neutral. So it's going to be a little bit more of an intense stretch. Flex both your ankles and then breathe out and stretch that left leg up as much as you can and release. Breathing out, press it up away through the heel of the foot and release. Taking just a few more. Let's do one last one. And release. And then stretch that left leg all the way out. Separate your legs. Take a moment to roll the hips and spine side to side, flexing the ankles. And let's start with walking on the spot. So you can either have your hands on the shelf of your hip to feel what's going on, or you might want to put your hands just a little bit out to the side. And as you do this hitching of the hips, this is your lumbar lateral flexion. Once again, bring your awareness to the muscles that are creating this movement for you. Obliques, lower back muscles. Make sure that it feels okay for you, that there's no strain or pain. And then just bring yourself back to the center. Bend your knees one at a time. Putting your feet flat to the ground. So you can have the knees and the feet slightly apart. If you've got a pillow under your head, please just slide it back and out from under your head for a moment. And then bring your hands down into a low V position. So they're slightly wider than your mat. You can have palms up or palms down. We're going into a pelvic tilt. Small imprint with the lumbar spine, and then a little release. Let's just do a few more of these. So you're just getting that small movement through the lumbar spine to begin with. Connecting into your breath. And now let's continue the movement up into a pelvic curl. Tilting hips and continue coming all the way up. Come as high up into a bridge as you can manage without taking strain into your lower back at all. And then start to work your way down through the spine and release at the bottom. And we go again, a little bit of a tilt, rolling up, finding that gentle squeeze from the base of the pelvis, and then start to ripple down through the spine. We're going to take two more. Connect your movement to your breath. However that feels natural for you. And then soften through the back of the neck, the back of the ribs, the lumbar spine, and all the way to neutral. Last time, tilting the hips, rolling all the way up into your bridge, and then start to ripple down through the spine and release. And then start to walk your feet wide. Take them to the very outer edges of your mat. And now bring your arms a little bit higher up so that they're actually in line with your shoulders, like a Boeing 747. You can have palms up or palms down. Start rolling both knees to one side. And then back through the center and rolling them to the other side. So we're going into our first twist of the spine. Finding that rotation through the lumbar spine. And as your knees come lower to the floor, you'll start to notice that the twist travels up a little bit higher towards the rib cage and the thoracic spine as well. So let it move up your spine, provided that it feels good for you. But you do want to see if you can keep your shoulders and your arms connected to the floor. Roll both your knees over to the right and let's all meet here. Just let your legs settle. If you want to put supports underneath the knees, then go for it. And turn your head to look over towards the left side. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths in and out. And what feels good for me to open up the hip flexor a little bit more is that I do a squeeze with my left bum cheek. Not hectic, but it's just enough to engage the gluteal muscles and get a stretch down the front of the thigh. Take a breath in and out. And then relax the left bum cheek, bringing your head and your knees back to the center. And now roll your knees over to the left side Look over towards the right. Give yourself any supports that you need. And then start squeezing the right bum cheek. Get a little bit of an increased stretch onto that right hip flexor, the right quadricep. Keep breathing. Nice, easy breath in and out. And then slowly relax the bum cheeks and bringing your legs all the way back to the center. And now start walking your feet right in towards each other. Bring both hands up towards the sky. And we're going to do a little scissor action of the arms. So again, just feel it out. If you've got any shoulder or neck issues, just kind of figure out if your range today needs to be a little bit smaller. And maybe it just needs to be smaller on the one side. Feel that little gliding action of the scapula up and down your ribs. Taking just a few more. And now, bringing the left arm overhead. Take your time as you roll onto your left side. You can make a little pillow with the left arm under your head. And you're going to take your right hand and place it in your lower back. Now, you can keep it in your lower back if that feels like a nice stretch for the right shoulder. If you feel that you want an extra stretch, you can walk your hand up a little higher between your shoulder blades. I'm not very flexible on this right side, so it's not going very far. And then slowly roll yourself onto your back again. So in other words, your right hand is now underneath your body. The elbow is bent, and then you can bring your left hand down, rest it on your belly, and we're just going to settle here for 5 breaths in and out. Feel free to close your eyes. And this is quite a strong stretch for the internal shoulder rotators that are part of the rotator cuff. Stay with your breath. Don't force it. See if you can relax the back of your neck a little bit more. Just allow gravity and breathing to guide you into the stretch. And then if your eyes are closed, you might want to open them. Taking the left hand again, reaching the arm overhead. So as you roll once again onto your left side, you release the pressure of that right hand, bringing your right hand just down beside you and coming onto your back again. Knees bent, settle yourself, and now switch the arm scissor. So now you're going to have that right arm over. If it doesn't want to go all the way over, then just bend it next to you. And roll now onto your right side, placing your left hand either into your lower back or move it a little bit higher up between the shoulder blades. And it could be a very different place on this arm. And again, roll onto your back. So now you're going to have your left hand pinned under your body. Bring your right hand down onto your belly. And once again, just allow your eyes to close or let them soften. Make any adjustments that you need. And if your spine doesn't like this, then maybe you need to actually do a little tilt of the hips, or maybe you need to move your hand. Connecting into your breath. Allowing gravity to soften and release. No forcing. Feeling that soft release of the rotator cuff on the left shoulder. And then opening your eyes slowly. Once again, bringing the right arm just beside you or overhead, whatever works for you. Rolling onto the right side. Releasing that left arm. And then rolling onto your back. Settle yourself with your knees bent, feet on the ground, arms reaching upwards. And this time, let's do a little open and close of the arms. Breathing in. Exhale, bring the arms up and connect each fingertip to the partner of the other hand. Inhale, open. And exhale. And just being mindful of your movements. So it's one of the reasons that I get people to connect their hands to each other, because it just forces you to slow down and become aware of where you are in space. Last one, inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, lifting up. You can stay there, bringing one knee into your chest, hug it in with both hands. Bring the other knee in to join it, hold it there, and then maybe just rock a little bit from side to side. And then center yourself. Hook your hands behind your knees, lift your knees and feet a little bit away from you. Tuck your chin, round your spine into that lovely ball shape, and then use your legs to create a little bit of a kicking action. And as you gain a little bit of momentum, let yourself roll up onto the sit bones and then back to the shoulders. Guys, remember that you don't want to hit your head or neck onto the floor. So control the movement, come up and then stay here and balance for a moment. And if you want to challenge yourself, why don't you close your eyes? If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, take your hands out from behind your knees and just reach your arms forward. So you have to hold your knees and feet using the abdominal and hip flexor muscles. Taking one more breath in and out. And then open your eyes, placing your feet to the ground, and you can roll all the way up into a seated position. So we're going to come sideways, and normally we would be sitting in an antler sit like this, but today I just want you to have your knees stacked one on top of the other and split your feet so that you've got your right foot in front while you're sitting on your left hip and your left hand is onto the ground. So we're just going to take our top arm and we're going to do a long stretch over. You can bend the underneath elbow if you want, and then exhale and look down, and you can almost let your shoulder come up slightly. And again, breathe in. So again, just feel it out on your own body with your spine, with your shoulders. If you want to make it a slightly bigger range of movement, or you can make it smaller, that's absolutely fine. Breathing in, and then exhale one more time, and then come all the way up. Pause here for a moment, turn the palm of your hand up, and now open up across the chest as you reach back, and then bringing your hands towards each other. And again, inhale. And exhale. And after we've done that stretch and that release with the rotator cuff, after we did our arm scissors and our arms open and close, you might feel that this is quite easy for you today. And taking just one more time, breathing in and exhale. Come back just to the center. Now hold your right hand onto your right ankle so you can come up and balance. And then just do a little salute And let's do a little bit of a stretch to the side. Taking one breath in, and then exhale and release. Spin your feet around to the other side. Knees are overlapping. You're going to split your feet, so now your left foot is front. You're sitting on the right bum. Right hand is flat to the ground. That's it right there. And we're just going to do a little bit of over. Remember, you can bend the elbow if you want, and then lower down, and let your shoulder lift if it wants. And again. And so when I do this movement for myself, if I keep my underneath elbows straight, I really get a strong stretch down along the side of the spine. But when I bend my elbow, it becomes a little bit more about stabilizing across the scapula. So again, just feel it out for yourself where your body needs to go today. And we're going to do just one more time. Reaching up and over. And release. Come all the way back to the center. Turn the palm up. And we inhale, reach back. And then exhale, curl around. And again, breathing in. And breathing out. Keep moving at your own rhythm. Last one. Come all the way back to the center. Bend that top elbow and hold it there just for a moment. Bringing your hand down. And we're going to reverse it. Bend the elbow and coming all the way to the side for that side stretch. Stay just for a moment. And then release, placing your hand. Now flip onto your stomach. So we're going to be going into a little bit of a hip flexor and quadricep stretch. So I don't really have any problems holding onto my ankle, but if you do, this is where you take your strap and you can loop it around your foot. So put your right hand underneath your head, reach back with the left hand, hold onto the ankle or the top of the foot, and then just let yourself settle so that your hips or your pelvis and your shoulders are square to the ground. Do not force your knee where it doesn't want to go. So if your leg is going a little out to the side because that's what your knee needs, then leave it there. But once you have your kneecap in a happy place, then do a little bit of a squeeze with the bum cheeks. So you almost feel like the front of your pelvis is flattening into the ground. Feel the lift of your belly. Make sure that you can breathe into it. And then for those of you that are really flexible, you can actually lift the thigh off the ground a little bit, provided that you're able to keep your pelvis level on the ground. Stay here for just a few more seconds. And then release. Stretch that leg out. Now just stay for a moment. Overlap one hand on top of the other and rock your pelvis from side to side. Little rocking action. And then come back to the center. Now, left hand under the head. Reach back with the right hand. Use the strap if you need any support for yourself. Get your shoulders and your pelvis level. Get your kneecap in a happy place. And then do a little bit of a squeeze with the bum cheeks. Keep breathing. If you're really flexible, you can lift that thigh off the ground, or if you feel that it's almost loosening up a little bit, you can. Just double check for yourself that your pelvis is level to the ground. And then release, stretch that leg all the way out, overlap one hand on top of the other, and again, just rock gently from side to side. And then bring yourself to the center. I want you to squeeze your legs together today. And you're going to separate your hands, elbows down on the ground, and we're just going into a very small cobra. So engage the bum cheeks, lift your eye line, coming into a baby cobra so that your heart is lifted, and you can actually feel that your shoulder blades are doing a little squeeze behind you. Anchor your pelvis, and then lift your legs just a fraction off the ground, but your legs are together, which means you're not able to come up as high as usual. Take a little breath, and then bring legs and head down at the same time. And again, lifting just the upper body. So first you establish your baby cobra, and then you lift your legs up. Keep the ankles, keep the inner thighs engaged, squeezing the legs together. And then gently lower down. And we're going to do 2 more. Lifting first into cobra, squeezing gluteals. Think about reaching your heart away from your heels. And everything comes down. Just one more time, baby cobra, squeezing the legs together as they come up, pause for a moment, and releasing down. Overlap one hand on top of the other, separate the legs a little bit, and once again, just rock gently from side to side. And now, bend your knees out to the side and squeeze the heels together. So you're making a froggy position with your legs. And it's very tempting here to arch the lower back. So once you've got your heels together, I want you to squeeze the gluteals and actually feel that the front of your pelvis is flattening like a pancake. You're going to feel the abdominals and the gluteals are working here to stabilize your pelvis. Now, this is just a little bit mean. I'm going to be the first to admit that. So, with the heels together, you're going to do a little bit of a lift with the thighs, just enough so that you can clear your legs. But guys, make sure it's not coming from the lower back. You've got to lift from here, the base of the pelvis, and then release it down. And again, it's a little bit of a squeeze. And release it down. If you're taking any strain in your back, then do not lift your legs. Just focus on engaging the gluteals. We're going to do 2 more because, guys, this isn't the exercise. This is the prep. And release. One more time. Lifting your thighs. Now stay here. Close your knees and open your knees. Close your knees. Open your knees. 2 more. Squeeze and release. One more time. Squeeze. This is your prone clam. And release. Hold it and releasing down. Now stay where you are. And you're going to just start to circle the heels of your feet around each other. And can you feel that there's a gentle rotation that's taking place inside the hip socket themselves? So this is called harvesting. You know those harvesting machines where they roll around? And then change direction and roll the heels the other way, harvesting. As much as possible, you're keeping your pelvis stable and you're just allowing the hip joints to mobilize. Take a little breath in and then exhale, stretch the legs out. Bring the legs together and then push yourself back into a resting position and just allow yourself to stretch it out. So guys, put padding wherever you need. Put your arms wherever it feels good for you and just give yourself a little bit of a stretch, a release along those back muscles here. We're just staying here for a few breaths in and out. And now, push your hands firmly into the ground and bring yourself up onto all fours. So we're going to be going into a cat stretch. If you've got any issues with the shoulders, maybe what's going to help you is to move your hips back slightly, and that's going to help unload the wrists and the shoulders and the neck a little bit. So just see what works for you. On your breath out, rounding your spine up towards the ceiling. Stay here for a moment, and then let your hips move back so you increase the stretch around the sacrum a little bit. And then we come forward again, and then lengthen the spine, either to neutral or moving towards extension. And again, tuck the tail, rounding your spine up. Start moving your hips back, a little bit of a stretch, and come forward, and lengthen, perhaps going into a little bit of an arch. Taking 2 more rounds. Keep breathing. One more time, rounding the spine. Sitting back now, stay here this time. You're in a rounded spine, your hips are drifting towards your feet, and I want you to push up onto the tips of the fingers, using the abdominals, and then rolling all the way up into a kneeling position. And then just lift your eye line. Focus your gaze so that you've got your balance, and then roll the shoulders back and around a few times. And then stay as you are. We're just going to do one deep breath in. So you reach both arms all the way up. Reach up, connecting the tips of the fingers to each other, and then open your arms and bringing it all the way to the side. Now you're going to step your right foot forward. If you need any padding underneath this left knee, then put something underneath that knee for yourself. Placing both hands onto the right thigh, just letting your body weight transfer forwards and backwards. If you find that your knee is going way past your front foot, past that heel, then maybe widen your stance a little bit. So this is now very specifically starting to work, not just the thigh muscles, not just the quadriceps, but it's starting to get that opening and release into the actual hip joint itself, which is the iliopsoas. And we're going to do just one more time. Now reach forward and hold it there. Double check abs. Make sure your hand is supporting you. And now the left hand, we breathe in. And we breathe out. So you guys know this one. As soon as we lift the arm up, you can feel that it's creating some tensioning on that left side of the body. So this is one of the ways that we kind of facilitate that release of the fascia, the connective tissue. And just one more time. Reach. And then bring your hand all the way down and shifting back. Now, you need to put your hands onto the floor on the inside so that you can pivot your back foot. So you see what I did there? My left foot pivoted backwards so that now when I bring my right hand up onto my knee, I'm actually facing like a diagonal with my body. And then place your left hand onto the shelf of your hip, right hand onto the knee. Give yourself padding if you need underneath that left knee. And we're going to do a little trampolining movement with that right knee going forward. So your whole pelvis is moving slightly forward. So this is now starting to get into those adductors. This is part of the deep midline of fascia. Let's take 2 more. 1 more. And release. Put both hands down to the floor. Pivot your left leg all the way back. Walk your hands a little forward. And then bringing that right leg back. Come back onto all fours. Round your spine like a cat. Move your hips halfway back. Stop. Push up onto the tips of the fingers. And then rolling up into an upright kneeling position. Inhale, both arms reach up. And exhale, both arms open all the way to the side. Good. Now, step your left leg forward. Give yourself any padding underneath that right knee that you need at the back or making your adjustments. Hands are on the left knee, and we're just going to start shifting a little bit forwards and backwards. So by the way, if anybody feels so inspired that you want to try the splits, this is one of the great exercises or releases here, because it's taking one leg forward, one leg backwards, which is precisely that opening of the hips that you need in order to go into the front splits. It's just that then you've got to add the hamstring release, right, at the front. One more time. Bring your knee forward, now stay here. Keep your left hand on your left knee. Let the right hand come down. And now lift your arm up, breathing in. And exhale, and the right arm comes down again. So keep the movement going with your arm. And feel how it increases the tensioning onto the right side of the body, finding that fascial release. One more time. And release it down. Now, put both hands onto the ground on the inside of your left foot. Pivot your right foot back, so you're pivoting on the knee. Make any adjustments so that your kneecap feels okay. And then walk your left hand up onto your left knee again. Right hand onto your right hip. So you're now sort of facing the diagonal, so your pelvis is open. And we do our little trampolining. So now we're getting into the adductors. Using your hand on your left knee as much as you need. Two more. One more. And now bringing your hands back down to the floor. Pivot your right foot back again so that you're lengthways on your mat. And then sweeping the left leg all the way back. Coming onto all fours. Let's do a little bit of a carpal tunnel release for the hands. So pivot your hands back as much as possible. And again, if you have a lot of tension around the carpal tunnel, you might want to bring your shoulders forward. If you really want to increase the stretch, then you can lean back, or maybe perhaps what you want to do is a little bit of a rocking action between the two, which is what feels good for my wrists. Keep breathing. Always make sure that your lower back feels okay, yeah? So keep supporting with those abs. One last one. And release. And then let your hands slowly come all the way back around. And now, tuck your toes under. And you're going to start moving your hips back towards your feet. And if you keep your hands where they are, you can almost push with your hands and release. Can you guys feel a stretch around the knuckles of the toes and the plantar fascia? And again, little release. Let's just take a few more. One more. Now stay here. Anybody with knee issues, please modify as you need to. We're going to come into a crouched position. So your hands come close to your knees, and then you push into your hands and literally just roll yourself back, and then maybe just wiggle around on your feet a little bit. Bring your hands close to your feet onto the tips of your fingers, and then we start to roll up. And stay here. As soon as you can get your feet flat, you're going to stop, and you're going to relax your spine over. And if you wanted to, you can hold on to your opposite arms, hands to elbow, and let your arms literally frame your head. Would you like to straighten your knees, or do you want to keep them bent? You want to sway a little bit side to side. And then pause in the center. Releasing your arms. Take a breath in. And exhale, roll yourself all the way up into standing. Take your time, make sure you don't have a huge head rush. Roll the shoulders back and around a few times. And then just allow yourself to center. So you can stand as you are. I just want you to let your arms hang heavy. Take a moment to maybe twist the spine, shift a little side to side. Move your head, maybe bend your knees if you need to. And then close your eyes. Allow your body to find stillness. Allow your mind to find stillness. Taking a moment to just be present as you are. Allowing your thoughts to drift past. And again, if you notice that you are distracted, start to tie your breath into a counting cycle of 1 to 10. Allow yourself to finish counting to 10. Return yourself to just a natural, gentle breath. Perhaps take a moment to remind yourself of the intention or dedication that you set for your day. Focus on that intention for a moment. Breathing it into every cell of your body. When you're ready, blinking your eyes open, bring yourself back into your space. Let's finish with one deep breath in, reaching your arms up, connecting the tips of your fingers to each other. Exhale, open your arms. Let's do a little flamenco hands, circling the wrists as you bring it all the way down beside you. Oh, wonderful, guys. Give everything a little bit of a shake. And let's have a quick chat if you've got any questions.